Hi, welcome to today's video. I want to show you 3 products that I use for bigger, brighter eyes. I don't know about you, but the older I get, I feel like my eyes are getting smaller. So this is a very natural look. It's going to be super quick. And like I said, I'm just using 3 products, and I'm not going to go real heavy on my eyes today. So the first product, I always start with my brows because you want to frame out your eye area just to kind of see what you're working with. So for my brows, I'm going to use the Estée Lauder Multitasker. This is a brow multitasker. I love this. I've featured this in so many different videos. This Estée Lauder Brow Multitasker has a spoolie on one end. Then the middle, when you twist that open, it has powder. And then the pencil itself is retractable. And I love this pencil. I love the shape of it. I love the thickness of it. It also has a point on the end of it so that you can do more with it and do more of the fine work that you're trying to do with it. So we're going to start with that. And then I always start just right here. You're going to just kind of draw. Well, you might not have to do this as much as I do, but I have to really fill it in. So I start right here and just go over with that. And then I use the spoolie to give it a more natural look and even it all out. I love this pencil. This is long wearing. It's going to be long wearing and last all day for you. The shade that I use is brunette. One thing that I love about Estée Lauder brow pencils, and I probably mentioned this about this brow pencil, the brown pencils, they use gray as a base color instead of a red. So some brow pencils, if you get the brown shade, you might put that on your brows and it looks like there's a red line or a redness around your brows, and you're thinking, what in the world? And that's because they use red. Estée Lauder does not. They use gray. Now, if you want more filled in, you can use that brow powder and just fill in the brows for a thicker looking brow. There's the brows. Next thing I'm going to use is the eyeliner. For my eyeliner, I love the NYX Vivid Rich pencil. This is always Onyx. It's a mechanical pencil. It's very thin, so you can build up on it, but yet you can also use it for a wing. So that's the Always Onyx. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right up here on the side. And then you're just going to kind of draw right across the lash line. If you want to, you can use this on the waterline as well. You don't want to use a lot though, because again, we want open, big eyes. For this particular look, I'm not using any eyeshadow. I'm not using any on the bottom because black is just a little bit too harsh and it's going to close off the eye. What I'll do is I'll go to the end of my eyelid and I will go to the bottom of it and kind of draw upward, and that's how I make that wing. Make sure you don't get the line too far into the corner because that's going to close off your eyes again. Next, mascara. One of my favorites is the Idôle by Lancôme. The reason I love this one is because I love that brush. And what I'll do, instead of using it this way, I will use it so the brush goes upwards, and that's going to help curl my lashes. I don't want nothing on the bottom lashes, so I'm going to go just very, very lightly on the bottom lashes. And I don't dip the brush back in the mascara when I do that. I just, whatever's left over on the brush after I do the upper lash line, that's what I use because I don't want a lot on there. And then the bottom lash. Okay, there we go. Bigger, brighter eyes with just 3 products. So you've got to have a good brow pencil, a good liner that's not going to be too thick, and then a good mascara that's going to give you some length and volume that's not going to be too heavy. This is a perfect everyday look. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.